Hi, Chef Ryan Phillips here. It's summertime and many Koreans go to the beach where some of the best seafood in the world is served. There's an icy cold dish here that's somewhere between a ceviche, a poke bowl, a soup, and a salad. That is Korea's own summer beach favorite, Mulhoe. Now, Mulhoe is usually made with a beautiful flatfish like this flounder I found in the market this morning. But if you do not have this, you could use salmon, you could use tuna, whatever you have available. All right, I'm gonna break down this fish and cut them into long strips. We are so lucky here in Korea. You can pick up this amazing fresh fish from a live tank any day of the week. I'd like to tell you guys a little bit about the big difference between Korean raw fish and raw fish around the rest of the world. Here, we love to have it fresh right out of the tank, whereas in other parts of the world, usually it's aged. And there's a very big difference, especially in the texture, when you do it that way. I'm about halfway finished with prepping this fish. Now I want to cut it into long, thin strips. Now, it is important that you cut it across the grain here so you get the right texture. So if you're using a different type of fish, just be sure and do this style of cut. All right, let's turn to our sauce. To get the real Korean flavor, we've got to start with gochujang. 1.5 tablespoons of gochujang. 1 tablespoon of gochugaru, or red chili flakes. Then we've got about 3 or 4 cloves of minced garlic. You need some kind of vinegar. Today I've got makgeolli vinegar, or Korean rice wine vinegar. We're going with about 1.5 tablespoons. 1 tablespoon of honey, and about 1 tablespoon of toasted sesame oil. Now, the next ingredient, it's so underrated in the West, but sesame seeds can really give an extra flavor. I'm gonna get about 1.5 tablespoons or so of sesame seeds in my mortar and pestle, and I'm just gonna grind them up into a powder. So about 1.5 tablespoons of the sesame seed ground into powder. And for water, we're going for this consistency. Looks like it's gonna be about 100 milliliters. All right, that works for me. We're going for this balance between sweet and savory and a little bit of spicy, but definitely get that sour from the vinegar. All right, it's time to prepare our vegetables and herbs here. We're gonna start with this red onion. Use about 1/4 here, and we're just looking for a nice julienne, really thin. We'll need 1 or 2 green chilies, whatever kinds you have is fine, and we're gonna chop those up. Grab about 6 leaves of lettuce, and we're gonna cut those into kind of long, thin strips as well. Next, we have perilla leaves and cut them into a nice chiffonade. And lastly, we're gonna take our Asian pear and we're gonna cut them into little matchsticks. Okay, it's time to put it all together. All right, let's get our fish in, about 250 grams. Now for the sauce, And finally, garnish with just a few toasted sesame seeds. Maybe a few ice cubes is traditional around here. All right, it is time to eat. We've got mulhoe ready, icy cold, raw fish. Mix this all together. I've loved this dish since the first time I went out to the East Sea and tried it there on a hot summer day. This is mulhoe. It's a little bit spicy, very sour. My mouth is watering like crazy right now. That brightness from the vinegar and then those perilla leaves just make it pop. So much reminds me of like a ceviche on the beach in Mexico, but very Korean flavors here. Definitely, if you get a chance to come to Korea, go to the East Sea, drive along the coastal highway, and stop in a little fishing village and order this dish.